It was a normal Tuesday morning when the sky turned dark, not from rain clouds, but from the huge alien ships that now hung over every major city on Earth. These ships belonged to the Zax Empire, a powerful group that had taken over many other worlds before coming to Earth. The ships were bigger than anything humans had ever built. Each one stretched for miles across the sky, blocking the sun and casting large shadows on the land below. Their dark metal shells shone with strange lights that pulsed in patterns no one understood. From these ships came a message in all languages. People of Earth, we are the Zax Empire. Your planet is now under our control. You have 2 days to give up and accept our rule. If you fight back, you will all die. Around the world, the first reports came in on phones and TV screens. In New York, office workers stood at windows, looking up with open mouths. In Tokyo, crowds filled the streets, taking pictures of the ships. In Cairo, parents pulled their children inside homes. World leaders rushed to emergency meetings. Military generals stared at radar screens showing the alien ships and knew their weapons were no match. Scientists tried to make contact, but got no answer beyond the first message. General Vax, the alien commander, watched all this from his control room on the largest ship. He had done this before on 100 other worlds. He knew what would happen next. Panic, fear, and then giving up. That was how it always went. Begin the fear phase, he told his officers. Show them our weapons. On his order, each ship sent down a beam of bright blue light that cut through buildings like they were made of paper. In London, the beam sliced off the top of a skyscraper. In Rio de Janeiro, it cut a line through the beach sand, turning it to glass. In Moscow, it split a bridge in two, the parts falling into the river below. But what happened next surprised General Vax. Yes, there was fear. Yes, there was some panic. But something else happened too, something he had never seen before. Sarah Chen, a young scientist in Beijing, watched the ship above her city from her lab window. When her phone beeped with the order to leave the city, she turned it off and went back to her work. The quantum energy field she was studying might be useful now. She had no idea how, but she kept working anyway. In Kansas, farmer Bill Miller saw the ships while riding his tractor. He frowned up at the sky, then simply continued plowing his field. His crops wouldn't wait, aliens or not. In a small hospital in Nairobi, Dr. Aisha Omandi delivered a baby as the alien ship hummed overhead. When the new mother asked, "What will happen to us?" Dr. Omandi replied, "We will go on, as humans always do." On the alien ship, Officer Krell brought General Vax the first reports. "Sir, there is something wrong with these humans. They are not acting as expected." Vax looked at the screens showing people in different parts of Earth. Some were running or hiding, yes, but others were just continuing. Shop owners kept their doors open. Bus drivers stayed on their routes. Teachers kept teaching, even as they moved classes to safer places. "They do not understand," Vax said. "They think we are making empty threats. Show them we are serious." But Krell wasn't sure. "Sir, I don't think that's it. Look at their networks. They're sharing information, helping each other. They're scared, but they're not stopping." Miles below, in a basement office in Chicago, software engineer Mike Okafor sent a message to fellow programmers around the world. "They'll try to cut our communications first. We need a backup system. Who's with me?" Within minutes, hundreds replied, ready to work. General Vax didn't know it yet, but this invasion would be like none before it. The calm had passed, but humans had simply marched on. General Vax stood in his command room, looking at the large screens showing cities all over Earth. His thin gray fingers tapped on the control panel as he frowned. "This is not right," he said to Officer Krell. "Look at these humans. They are not acting as they should." Officer Krell, younger than Vax with lighter skin, studied the images. In New York, subway trains still ran under the shadow of alien ships. In Tokyo, people stood in neat lines to get food and water. In Lagos, market sellers shouted about their goods as if nothing had changed. "Send more watchers," Vax ordered. I want to know what they are thinking. Small robot drones flew down from the ships, hovering near windows and over streets. They looked like metal balls with glowing blue eyes. They recorded everything they saw and heard. One drone followed Mike Okafor in his small apartment in Chicago. Mike hadn't slept all night. His eyes were red, and empty coffee cups sat beside his computer. On his screen was a new program that could send messages even if the aliens cut off the internet. Testing connection to Sydney, Mike typed. A moment later, words appeared on his screen. Sydney here. We read you. Mike smiled for the first time since the ships came. It works, he said to himself. We can talk to each other, no matter what they do. In Beijing, Sarah Chen's lab was now full of people. Other scientists had ignored the orders to leave and joined her instead. They worked on the strange energy field that seemed to make the alien drones act funny. When the field was turned on, the drones couldn't see well or hear what people said. Make it smaller, Sarah told her team. We need something people can carry. A young man named Lai held up a device the size of a phone. Will this work? Sarah turned it on, and the drone outside their window suddenly flew away, as if confused. The whole team cheered. On Vax's ship, the alien commander was getting angry reports. Sir, we're losing contact with drones in some areas. How is that possible? Vax asked. Their technology is primitive. Krell looked worried. Sir, they are adapting faster than we expected. And there's something else. Look at these. On the screen appeared thousands of messages humans were sending each other. Some were serious plans for resistance, but many were jokes about the aliens, funny pictures, and songs about standing strong. They are making fun of us. Vax couldn't believe it, while we hold the power to destroy them. In a school basement in London, teacher Emma Wright sat with 30 children. The alien ship hummed overhead, but Emma kept teaching. Now, who can tell me what 5 times 7 is? She asked. A small boy raised his hand. 35. Very good, Tom, Emma said. When a loud crash sounded outside, some children looked scared. Emma smiled calmly. That's just noise. Let's continue with 6 times 7. The drone watching through the window reported back. Humans are teaching their young math formulas during invasion. Vax couldn't understand. No species had ever done this before. Meanwhile, in a hospital in Mumbai, doctors performed surgery by flashlight when the power went out. In farms across America, farmers shared fuel to keep tractors running. In Brazil, neighbors formed groups to watch for alien movements and share food. The aliens had studied humans before coming. They knew humans fought wars against each other and often couldn't agree on anything. But now, humans were showing a different side. Report from Australia. An alien officer called out, humans are building something in the outback. We can't tell what it is. France reports their soldiers are using new devices that block our scans. African nations are sharing a new communication network. Vax looked at the countdown timer on his wall. 20 hours left before the deadline for Earth to surrender. But now, he wasn't so sure what would happen when time ran out. Krell stepped closer and spoke quietly. Sir, I think we may have made a mistake about these humans. For the first time in his long military career, General Vax felt unsure. These humans weren't like the others. They weren't giving up. They were getting ready. The countdown clock on General Vax's wall reached 0. The 2-day deadline had ended. It was time for Earth's answer. Open the communication channel, Vax ordered. Let us hear their surrender. Officer Krell pressed some buttons on the control panel. Screens lit up all around them. But instead of one clear message, thousands of different voices came through at once. We will never give up, shouted some. Can we talk about this? Asked others. We welcome peaceful visitors, but we will defend our home, said many leaders. Some humans even sent jokes or songs. Others sent pictures of their children with messages of peace. What is this? Vax shouted over the noise. Where is their unified response? Who speaks for Earth? Krell looked just as confused. Sir, it seems, everyone does. They have no single leader for their whole planet. Vax slammed his fist down. Silence this noise. This is not how it works. They must have one voice. The screens went dark, but Vax's anger remained. In all his years conquering worlds, he had never faced such a chaotic response. Prepare the first attack, he ordered. We will show them the cost of disrespect. But something made him pause. Wait, first, show me what they are doing now. The screens came back on, showing scenes from around Earth. What Vax saw surprised him again. In Beijing, Sarah Chen stood in front of hundreds of people, showing them how to build small devices. This will block their eyes and ears, she explained, holding up the little box her team had made. Make as many as you can. Share them with everyone. People took pictures with their phones. Within hours, these pictures would reach millions. In Chicago, Mike Okafor spoke to programmers around the world through his new network, now called EarthWeb. They can't block all frequencies, Mike explained. If one path gets cut, our messages will find another way through, like water flowing around rocks. In Rio de Janeiro, bus drivers mapped out the movements of alien drones, noting when and where they appeared each day. In rural India, farmers covered important food warehouses with materials that blocked alien scans. No one had told them to do these things. They just did what made sense to them. Officer Krell watched all this with growing wonder. Sir, he said quietly, I have been studying their history. These humans have faced many disasters before. Wars, diseases, natural events. They have a strange ability to work together even when they disagree on everything else. Vax didn't answer. He was watching a small town in Canada where humans had created a signal that confused the alien ship's sensors. It wasn't advanced technology, just a clever trick using old radio equipment. Begin the attack, Vax finally said. Target their military bases first. Large weapons on the alien ships powered up, glowing with bright purple energy. But just as they were about to fire, something unexpected happened. Many of the targets disappeared from the alien scans. What's happening? Vax demanded. Sir, they're using some kind of field that blocks our targeting systems, an officer reported. We can't get clear shots. It was Sarah Chen's device, now being used by military bases around the world. It couldn't stop all the attacks, but it made them much less accurate. The first alien strikes hit Earth, destroying some military targets but missing many others. Human defense systems fired back. Their weapons were weaker, but there were thousands of them, all firing at once. For the first time, an alien ship took damage. It wasn't serious damage, just a small fire on the outer shell of a ship over Russia. But it had never happened before in any invasion. The alien crew rushed to put out the fire while Officer Krell brought the news to General Vax. Sir, the humans have damaged the Moscow ship. Vax stood very still, his large eyes wide with surprise. How interesting, he said finally. There was a new tone in his voice, something between respect and worry. Down on Earth, the first battle had begun. But humans weren't fighting the way aliens expected. They weren't just using weapons. They were using their minds. 1 week after the first attacks, the alien ships opened their doors. Large flying machines came out, carrying alien soldiers down to Earth. These soldiers wore shiny armor and carried weapons that shot blue light. They landed near major cities, ready to take control. General Vax watched from his command room. Now they will see our true power, he said. Our soldiers have never lost a ground battle. The alien soldiers marched forward in perfect lines. They expected the humans to run away or give up when they saw them up close. That's what always happened on other worlds. But here on Earth, something different waited for them. In the farmlands of Kansas, the alien soldiers walked through fields of tall corn. Suddenly, small planes flew over them. These were crop dusters, planes that farmers used to water their plants. But today, they dropped something different. a sticky brown liquid that covered the aliens' helmet visors. "I can't see," the alien soldiers shouted, trying to wipe their visors clean. While they were confused, local people appeared from hiding places. They weren't soldiers, just regular farmers with hunting rifles and shotguns. They didn't have fancy weapons, but they knew their land better than anyone. In Mumbai, India, a group of taxi drivers had created a warning system. When alien soldiers appeared on a street, drivers honked their horns in a special pattern. 2 short beeps, 1 long beep. This sound passed from one street to the next, mapping the aliens' movements in real time. "They're turning onto Main Street," one driver said into a cheap radio. "Copy that," answered a woman in an apartment above. She used colored sheets hung from windows to signal others. Red for danger, white for safe. Officer Krell studied these human tactics with growing interest. "Sir," he reported to General Vax, "the humans don't fight like a normal army. Every local group has different methods. If we learn to beat one group, the next uses something new." Vax frowned. This was taking too long. The Empire expected quick victories, not drawn-out fights. "Send in the heavy weapons," he ordered. "Level their resistance centers." But finding those centers proved difficult. Humans didn't have one place where they made plans. They used Mike's Earth web, which jumped between thousands of computers. They held meetings in basements, in forest clearings, in school gyms after hours. Most surprising to the aliens was how humans who were very different worked together. In one American town, a man put a sign in his store window: "Free food for anyone fighting the aliens." Just days earlier, he had argued with his neighbor about politics. Now that same neighbor was helping in his kitchen. An alien soldier captured in Brazil told his guards, "You humans fight all the time. We watched your news. You hate each other." The guard, a young woman named Maria, shrugged. "We argue with family too. Doesn't mean we let strangers hurt them." In China, Sarah Chen's team kept improving their blocking device. A teenager in Korea found a way to make it work twice as long on the same battery. An old engineer in England figured out how to hide it in everyday objects: coffee cups, belt buckles, even children's toys. When alien soldiers scanned for these devices, they looked like normal things. "This is most unusual," Krell said, looking at reports from around the world. He had secretly begun collecting human music and art, hiding it from the other aliens. Something about humans fascinated him. The alien soldiers had taken some cities, but they couldn't hold them. Humans would seem to accept alien rule during the day, then sneak out at night to plan and build and fight. "Sir," an officer reported to Vax, "we've lost contact with our unit in Moscow." "And the one in Sydney," said another. Vax looked at the map of Earth, where red dots showed alien-controlled areas and blue showed human resistance. There was too much blue, and it was growing. "The Empire will not be pleased," he said quietly. For the first time in his military career, General Vax wondered if they might fail. 3 months into the invasion, General Vax received a message from the Zax Empire. It appeared as a large face on his main screen, the face of Supreme Commander Zoth, his boss. "General Vax," the face said, "why is Earth not under our control yet? You have the best ships, the best soldiers. The humans have sticks and stones compared to our weapons." Vax stood very straight. "Supreme Commander, these humans are different. They don't fight like others we have conquered. Different." Zoth's voice got louder. "They are primitive. They still burn oil for energy. They have not even united their own planet. Take control now, or we will send someone who can." The screen went dark. Vax turned to Officer Krell. "Send more troops," he ordered. "Double our forces in every major city." But Krell looked troubled. "Sir, may I speak freely?" "What is it?" Vax asked. "Sir, I've been studying the humans. They are not what we thought. They make beautiful things: music, art, stories. And they help each other, even when they're different." Vax frowned. This is not our concern. We take planets. That is our job. Yes, sir, Krell said, but he looked down at a small device in his hand, a human music player he had taken from a destroyed house. He had been listening to something called jazz when no one was looking. Meanwhile, in Brazil, a major battle was happening. A group of soldiers and local people had surrounded an alien base. They didn't have enough weapons to attack directly. Instead, they had another plan. Maria, who had guarded the captured alien earlier, now led a small team through the jungle. They carried Sarah Chen's blocking devices and wore clothes made of materials that didn't show up on alien scanners. Remember, Maria told her team, we just need to get to their command center. Get in, get the technology, get out. They moved silently through the night, using paths that only local jungle guides knew. When they reached the alien base, they used the blocking devices to create a blind spot in the alien security systems. One by one, they climbed over the wall and into the base. Inside, they found strange machines with lights and buttons. Using pictures sent from Sarah Chen's team, they found the most important parts to take. This one, whispered Paulo, a young engineer. Sarah said this controls their communications. They took the parts and slipped away before the aliens knew they were there. Within days, these stolen parts were in workshops around the world. People who built radios, computers, and phones now worked on alien technology. They didn't understand everything, but they learned quickly. Mike O'Keffer's EarthWeb team figured out how to use alien communication devices to make their network stronger. Soon, humans could talk to each other without the aliens hearing them. Sarah Chen made another breakthrough. She discovered that the aliens' weapons used energy fields similar to the one her team had been studying. We can do more than block their scans, she told her team, excitement in her voice. We might be able to stop their weapons too. On the alien command ship, General Vax was giving new orders when an alarm sounded. Sir, an officer called out, humans have stolen technology from our Brazil base. Before Vax could respond, more reports came in. Sir, our weapons are failing in the North American sector. Sir, humans have hacked into our communication network. Vax slammed his fist on the control panel. How? How are they doing this? Officer Krell watched the screens showing human progress. He felt something new, not loyalty to the Empire, but admiration for these strange beings who refused to give up. That night, Krell made a decision that would change everything. He copied important information about alien technology onto a small device. Then he found a secure channel on the human network. I have information that might help you, he typed. I believe what we are doing is wrong. On Earth, Sarah Chen stared at the message on her screen. Is this real? She whispered. An alien is helping us. The Resistance had just gained its most valuable ally. 6 months into the invasion, Earth had changed in many ways. Some cities lay in ruins. Others had alien soldiers on every street. But humans kept living their lives. Sarah Chen sat in a hidden lab deep under the mountains near Beijing. On her computer screen was the face of Officer Krell, the alien who had decided to help humans. The Empire has never failed before, Krell said. General Vax has 2 choices now. Destroy your whole planet, or try something new. Will he really destroy Earth? Sarah asked. The Empire values resources, not empty space, Krell replied. I think he will try a new plan first. Sarah nodded and looked at the team around her. They had been working day and night on the information Krell had given them. It showed how alien ships traveled faster than light, something humans had only dreamed about before. If we can understand this, Sarah said, holding up diagrams of alien engines, we won't just save Earth. We could someday reach the stars ourselves. Meanwhile, in what used to be New York City, people lived under alien rule. But it wasn't what the aliens expected. On the surface, people followed alien orders. They worked in factories and kept the city running. But underneath, they had a secret life. Mark Rodriguez taught history in a school basement by candlelight. Today we'll learn about other times humans faced invasion. He told the children sitting on the floor. We've been through hard times before. We always survive. Above them, alien patrol ships flew by, not knowing about the class happening below. In London, people held weddings in bomb shelters. In Tokyo, babies were born in hidden rooms. In Lagos, students took exams in forest clearings. Life went on. This confused the aliens more than anything else. They expected humans to either fight or give up. But humans did something else. They kept living, loving, learning, and hoping. General Vax watched video of a human wedding happening in a damaged church in Italy. The building had half its roof missing from an alien attack. But people had put up white sheets to cover the hole, and flowers decorated the broken walls. The bride and groom smiled as if it were the happiest day ever. Why do they do this? Vax asked Krell. Why celebrate when their world is falling apart? Krell had been thinking about this for months. Sir, I believe it's their strength. They find joy even in dark times. It gives them power to continue. Vax turned away from the screen. The Empire wants results. I've been ordered to either complete our mission or... He paused. Or what, sir? Krell asked. Or burn their cities to ash. Vax didn't look happy about this order. On his private screen, Vax opened a message to Supreme Commander Zoth. His fingers hovered over the controls as he made the biggest decision of his life. Request permission to open peace talks with humans. He finally typed. This had never happened before in the history of the Zax Empire. They conquered. They never talked. While waiting for an answer, Vax received news that shocked him. Sir, an officer reported, humans have built a ship using our technology. It's small, but it can reach orbit. Vax stared at the screen showing the human-made ship rising from a hidden base in the Australian outback. It was rough-looking, built from a mix of human and alien parts. But it flew, reaching the edge of space before returning to Earth. How? Vax whispered. How did they learn so quickly? He didn't know about Sarah Chen's team, or how Krell had been helping them understand alien science. He didn't know that humans from around the world had worked together, sharing ideas through Mike's Earthweb. The response from Supreme Commander Zoth arrived. Peace talks approved. Empire needs Earth resources intact. Do not fail. Vax looked at the human ship again. For the first time, he felt something new about humans, not confusion or anger, but respect. Prepare a message to human leaders, he told his officers. We wish to talk. The news spread quickly around the world. The aliens wanted to talk. After months of fighting, this seemed hard to believe. Many people thought it was a trick. Why would they want peace now? Asked world leaders in emergency meetings. Mike Okafor shared the news on Earthweb. Alien Commander requests peace talks. Location: the old space station in orbit. Representatives from all continents needed. The space station had been abandoned when the invasion started. Now, it would be the meeting place between humans and aliens. But who would speak for Earth? Unlike the aliens, humans had no single leader. After much debate, they chose a team of 12 people, not just politicians, but doctors, teachers, scientists, and regular workers from different countries and cultures. Sarah Chen was chosen to lead this team because she understood alien technology better than anyone else. Maria from Brazil joined too, along with Mike Okafor and others who had led the resistance. 3 days later, they boarded the first human-alien flight. The ship looked strange. Part human shuttle, part alien craft. Officer Krell was their pilot, now openly helping humans. As they flew up toward space, Sarah looked out the window at Earth below. She could see the damage from months of war, burned forests, damaged cities, but she could also see lights where people lived and worked. We're still here, she said quietly. We didn't run. We didn't hide. We just kept going. When they reached the space station, General Vax was waiting with his officers. The meeting room had a large round table. Humans sat on one side, aliens on the other. Vax spoke first. The Zax Empire offers peace terms. We will take control of 20% of your planet for our use. The rest you may keep. This is very generous. The human team looked at each other. This wasn't peace. It was just a smaller invasion. Sarah stood up. That's not acceptable. Earth belongs to all who live here. Humans, animals, plants. We will share, but we will not give up any part of our home forever. Vax seemed surprised. He had expected grateful acceptance of his generous offer. You don't understand your position, he said. We could still destroy your cities from orbit. Mike Okafor spoke next, and we could now shoot down some of your ships. Not all, but enough to make it costly for you. We learn quickly, General. This wasn't what Vax expected. In all other invasions, the locals had been grateful for any small mercy. These humans talked like equals. Officer Krell stepped forward. Sir, if I may speak, I studied human history. They have overcome many disasters by working together. They rebuild. They adapt. Even if we destroyed their cities, they would come back. Vax frowned. The Empire does not compromise. Then the Empire will have a long, expensive war, said Maria from Brazil. We don't want that. You don't want that. Let's find another way. As they talked, a message came from Earth. The human ship built with alien technology had just completed its first test of a faster-than-light drive. It wasn't perfect, but it had worked for a few seconds. Sarah showed the message to Vax. You see, we're not stopping. We're moving forward, with or without your help. For a long moment, Vax was silent. Then he did something no Zax commander had ever done before. He asked a question instead of giving an order. What do you propose instead? Sarah smiled. A true partnership. You need resources. We need technology. We can trade fairly. Your ships can visit Earth, not as conquerors, but as trading partners. Vax thought about the long, difficult months of trying to control these strange, stubborn humans. He thought about the Empire's need for Earth's resources, and he thought about the spaceship humans had built in just 6 months using pieces of alien technology. The Empire has never had partners, he said slowly, but perhaps with humans we could try something new. It wasn't peace yet, but it was the start of something different, something that had never happened before in the history of the Zax Empire. The peace talks continued for days. Sometimes they went well. Other times, they almost fell apart. But then something happened that no one expected. A new alien ship arrived, much bigger than the others. On its side was the royal mark of the Zax Empire. Supreme Commander Zoth, General Vax said, his voice tight with worry. He has come himself. The Supreme Commander did not like the idea of peace with humans. He ordered General Vax to end the talks and restart the war. These humans must be conquered, not treated as equals. Zoth's voice boomed through the command room. Begin full attacks on all major cities now. Sarah and the human team watched helplessly as the alien ships turned their weapons toward Earth again. It seemed all their work for peace would be lost. But then something amazing happened. When the order came to fire, many alien ships did not move. Their weapons stayed silent. What is happening? Supreme Commander Zoth shouted. Why don't they fire? Officer Krell stepped forward. Sir, many of our soldiers have lived on Earth for months now. They have seen human art, heard human music. They have watched humans help each other even in the worst times. Some aliens don't want to destroy this world anymore. It was true. In the past months, many alien soldiers had secret meetings with humans. They traded stories, shared meals when possible, and learned about each other. Some aliens had even helped humans rebuild damaged homes and hospitals. This is treason. Zoth screamed. Fire the weapons now or face death. Some ships did fire. New explosions lit up cities below. But many others still refused. General Vax stood very straight. Supreme Commander, I must speak. I have fought many battles for the Empire. I have conquered many worlds. But this one is different. These humans have something we lost long ago in our quest for power. And what is that? Zoth asked with anger in his voice. Hope, Vax said simply. They never stop hoping for better days. And they work together to make those days come, even when it seems impossible. On Earth, people watched the sky, not knowing what would happen next. Would this be the end? But they didn't run or hide. They stood together, ready to face whatever came. Mike Okafor had a new idea. He connected every screen on Earth to his Earth web. Then he sent out a message. Share your stories. Show them who we are. Millions of humans responded. They sent videos of their lives. Families having dinner together, children playing, doctors helping patients, farmers growing food, artists creating beautiful things. These images went everywhere, to the alien ships, to their home world, to every place the Empire controlled. For the first time, the whole galaxy saw humans as they really were. On Krell's suggestion, they also shared the truth about the Empire with the alien soldiers. Many had never known that other conquered worlds lived in poverty and fear. They had been told they were bringing order and progress. The Empire lied to us, one alien soldier said to his unit. These humans don't need our help. Maybe we can learn from them instead. All across Earth's orbit, alien soldiers made a choice. One by one, ships turned away from their targets. Some even moved to protect Earth from the ships that still followed Zoth's orders. It was the first rebellion in the history of the Zax Empire. Supreme Commander Zoth was furious. I will destroy this planet myself if I must. He aimed his royal ship's main weapon at the biggest human city below. But before he could fire, 20 alien ships surrounded him, weapons pointed at his ship. General Vax's voice came over the communication system. The Empire is changing today. Supreme Commander, we will no longer destroy worlds. We will learn from them instead. 3 years passed since the day alien ships first darkened Earth's skies. Much had changed in that time. Supreme Commander Zoth had been sent back to the Empire's homeworld. He now faced questions from his own people. For the first time, aliens across the galaxy were asking why they needed to conquer others. On Earth, cities were being rebuilt, but they looked different now. New buildings mixed human and alien designs. Shiny metal towers stood next to brick houses. Strange plants from other worlds grew in parks beside Earth trees. Sarah Chen stood on a platform in Geneva, Switzerland. Beside her were General Vax and Officer Krell. In front of them, human and alien leaders gathered to sign the first galactic peace treaty. Today, we do what many thought impossible, Sarah said to the crowd. We join the stars not as conquerors or victims, but as equals. The treaty gave Earth independence. Humans would rule themselves, but they would also join a new galactic council where all species had a voice. General Vax, once Earth's enemy, had helped create this council. I have fought many wars, Vax told the crowd. But humans taught me that true strength is not in weapons, but in how we treat each other. After the ceremony, Sarah walked through the streets of Geneva. She saw human children playing with young aliens. She passed shops where people traded Earth goods for strange things from distant planets. Everywhere, life was moving forward. She thought back to that first day, when alien ships filled the sky. How far they had all come since then. Meanwhile, in Chicago, Mike Okafor was working in a new building, the Galactic Communication Center. His Earth web had grown into something much bigger. Now it connected Earth to planets across the galaxy. Message received from Alpha Centauri, called one of his team members. Mike smiled. Just 3 years ago, he had been a regular programmer. Now he helped run the system that let humans talk to beings light years away. Maria from Brazil had a new job too. She led teams of humans and aliens who explored the galaxy together. Her ship, the Spirit of Earth, was the first human vessel to visit another solar system. Ready for our next mission? She asked her crew, half human, half alien. They all nodded, excited to see new worlds not as invaders, but as explorers. But the biggest changes were happening far from Earth. On planets the Empire had conquered long ago, people heard about what humans had done. They heard how one small world had stood up to the mighty Empire and changed it forever. These stories gave them courage. On world after world, people began to stand up and ask for freedom. Officer Krell, now an ambassador, visited these planets. He helped them form their own governments. He showed them how humans and aliens on Earth were working together. The old empire is ending, he told them. A new age of cooperation is beginning. Back on Earth, in a small classroom in Kenya, a teacher named Amara pointed to a new map on the wall. It showed not just Earth, but thousands of stars and planets. Our galaxy is very big, she told her students. And now we can visit all of it. A young girl raised her hand. Teacher, why did the aliens stop fighting us? Amara smiled. Because we showed them something they had never seen before. We showed them that different people can disagree but still work together. We showed them that real strength isn't in weapons, but in never giving up hope. As night fell across Earth, people looked up at the stars with new feelings. The sky that once brought fear now brought excitement. There were new friends out there, new worlds to see, new things to learn. And it had all happened because when danger came, humans had not panicked or given up. The calm had passed, and humans had simply marched on.